A warm welcome to all of you. Good evening. Welcome to the 222nd session of Centa's webinar series for teachers. I hope all of are very excited for this session. Today's session is on the topic STEM to STEAM, and it will be taken by our facilitator for this session is Miss Neena Bedi. She is a seasoned educator, mentor with teaching experience of more than 2 decades in many reputed schools across India. She has mentored over 4,000 students, and currently she is working as a freelancer, online tutor, teacher trainer, and a resource person for educators. Welcome, ma'am, to Centa's session. Now,
Thank you, Nikhil.
before I hand over the session to facilitator, I would like to inform all of you that you will receive your participation certificates for this session. And all you have to do is fill out a feedback form that would be shared at the end of the session. When you fill out that feedback form, you will receive your certificates by tomorrow. Okay, ma'am. So now I wish all the best. You can start the session.
Thank you, Nikhil. Thank you so much. Very warm welcome to all the educators who are here today to attend this very interesting presentation. And the topic for the presentation, as Nikhil has already told, it is switching from STEM to STEAM. First of all, I would like to thank Center Platform. This is the second time I am here presenting a webinar. And I'm really very privileged and honored that I am taking this webinar on this platform. So without any further delay, I would like to start the presentation. Uh, Here, I would like to ask Harsha ma'am, is the slide visible to everybody? Harsha ma'am, I want your response. Is the presentation visible to everyone? I think we can start. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. You can
So I
start.
get the comments I'm getting from all the educators. Yes, it is visible. So educators ready for the journey? All right. So today's topic, as I already introduced you, is STEM to STEAM. So what we are going to take away from today's presentation is we will understand what is STEM and what is STEAM. We will also see what is the importance of art in our STEM education and how we can implement STEAM in the classrooms. We will also see some of the real life success stories of STEAM education that are really mesmerizing. So, first of all, I have a question for everyone. Teachers, what do you understand by STEM? I hope everyone knows. So, I would like to request the teachers to write in the chat box what is the full form of STEM? So, I would like to request the teachers. You can write in the chat box. Okay. The full form of STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. It's a new approach in our education that deals with the problem solving, analytical thinking, keeping the foundation for the future endeavors, and also giving a reasoning skill to the students. Now we have another buzzword that is known as STEAM, and we are switching from STEM to STEAM. So there are many words which can describe STEAM, like multidisciplinary approach, innovation, problem solving. But what I feel, what in a simple words I would say that STEAM is a education system where there is a mixing of cool subjects with the boring subjects. Yes, do you agree with me? I think you all agree with me. When we talk about the science teachers, maths teachers, we work so much. But the students, which teachers are their favorite? Their favorite teachers are the music teacher, art teacher, dance teacher. So that is why we have a new term, that is art plus science. It will give progress, and also it will give a mixture of cool subjects along with the boring subjects. So it is a very common thinking, according to many scientists, that our brain is divided into two hemispheres, the right one and the left one. The left one is also known as the logical brain, and the right one is known as the creative brain, right? Yes. So the logical brain loves logic, numbers, detailed studies like words, listing. As you can see on the screen, the things are highlighting. Whereas the creative brain is more in love with the creative things like music, art, rhythm, imagination, daydreaming, isn't it? So the left and the right, they both are good friends, but there is a gap. And this gap is bridged by the term STEAM. There is a duo of superheroes inside our head, but still there is a gap. And that gap can be shortened, or we can say that we can bridge that gap by including the art with STEAM. So, what are the benefits of STEAM education? What are the benefits? Yes, very simply, I have put on all the benefits here. There are endless number of benefits of STEAM education, but for the shortened form, I have written here solving the problems. So we can learn to fix the problems, like simple formula for learning mathematics. We can simplify it by putting an art thing into it. So like a superhero, you can solve the problems. Be creative, unleashing the inner artist, and imagination can be added, and you can be creative in the boring subjects like maths, science, technology. I know when I was a student, I used to hate computers so much. But now, when I look at the 3D animation, when I look at the VR, AR, I have become a fan of this. So, what has added into it? What has added into the computer subject? It is the amalgamation of the creativity and the technology working together. When we talk about STEAM, we are not just talking about few students. We are taking the whole bunch of students together. Some students may be good in math, some may be good in science, some may be good in art, dance, fine arts. So, working together is also one of the benefits that we get in the STEAM education. Many of you are still joining, I suppose. Those who have joined, again, the warm welcome to all of you. Okay, so I'll continue with the benefits of STEAM education only. It also helps the student to become a smart thinker, not just the logical thinker, but the creative thinker also. All right. So here we have three superheroes of India. I want teachers to give their names in the chat box. These are the most powerful people of India, I would say. Yes, teachers, you can write down. They are I would say that they made us proud. Yes, I can see that many of you already have given the response. Yes. So we have Mr. APJ Abdul Kalam here. Yes, Minakshi ma'am has given the answer. Mr. APJ Abdul Kalam, Lavina Longwani, Niharika Singh. Yes, and very good, Lavina. There is a teacher, Lavina. She has given the name of another scientist, Satyendra Nath Bose. Very good. And there is one of the rocketry boys, that is Mr. Vikram Sarabhai. Yes. So these were the scientists. and they learned the subjects like physics, astronomy. They learned maths. But do you know, teachers, that they were also the artists? Yes, they were the artists. As you can see in the first picture, we have the scientist Professor Satyendra Nath Bose, and he is performing on an instrument, musical instrument, which is known as Israj. And this musical instrument is nowadays nobody knows. Even nobody, if you ask the today's generation, they might not know who was Mr. Satyendra Nath Bose and what did he discover. Anyone from the audience, teacher, can you please tell me what was the discovery or what is the achievement of Professor Satyendra Nath Bose in the field of science? I'm waiting for your responses. Okay. Yeah, Meenakshi Sharma ma'am says that Mr. Abdul Kalam also played Veena. Yes, that's what I'm trying to convey here, that these scientists were also the artists. They played musical instruments. Even Mr. Vikram Sarabhai, he played violin. He was a very good violinist. And Mr. Honorable APJ Abdul Kalam, Missile Man of India, just imagine, he was a poet. So, don't you think that there was the amalgamation of the STEM with art, and the STEAM was already there in our country? I have heard that if we add art or if we add music, dance in the subjects, these are the technical subjects, right? STEM, that is science, technology, engineering, and maths. It is a myth that they are technical subjects, and if we add art into it, what will happen? The art will take over the technical things, and the technical things will lose their vigor. But do you really think so? Do you really think so? I don't think so. And that's why I have brought some case studies for you all, which are there in our real world. Identify this iconic structure. What is this iconic structure? If you all can tell me the name. Okay, some of you are not able to identify, but I'm very sure. Yes, I got the answer from Move with Karnik, Burj Khalifa it is. Yes, yes. So what is this is the iconic structure which is known as Burj Khalifa, and in my opinion, it is the best example of the perfect example of the art and the engineering. It is not just a building. It is not just a building. It is the statement of the art touching the sky. Don't you all feel so? If you look at the structure of this building, it is a sleek building, and it looks like, if you pay attention to the building's texture, it looks like these are the strokes on a bigger canvas of the sky. So there is a perfect example of art meeting the technology and the engineering. There are the glass surfaces on this building where the light falls and it gives a dazzling masterpiece. Every building is not so fascinating. Why? Because art is not mixed in that. Ordinary buildings, they do not catch our eyes, but this building catches our eyes because of all these things. There is a structural engineering, there is material science, there is aerodynamics, and there are reflective glasses which control the climate. It's not just a building, it is the statement that art is touching the sky. The another example from the real life is the animation, where most of our students are they like to do animation. As I already told you, the cartoon characters like Shin Chan, Doraemon, what are they? They are the animated creatures which have been designed, or which have got birth because of the amalgamation of technology meeting the art. We have some more examples of the art meeting science, like in medical field. If you see the illustrations of human body or the anatomy of the human body, along with the collaboration with the augmented reality and the virtual reality, it gives the proper and the precise anatomy of the human body. Same is the case with the prosthetics. That is also a good mixture of biomedical engineering and the art. Here I present some pictures, and you can see that these are also the fusion of art along with the science and technology. You can see that how popular the wearable tech has become in today's generation. Everyone is wearing Fitbit. Even I heard a few days before that now we have a ring in which you can have this kind of technology that it will give you the body temperature. It will also tell your heartbeat. Whatever is the work a Fitbit is doing, same thing that ring is also doing. Then you have wearable technology, stylish, fashionable technology. Can you see this lady who is flaunting her dress? Isn't it? She is one of the model in fashion industry and she is flaunting her dress. Can you imagine what is her dress made up of? Can you imagine? Just give a guess, if anyone can guess, what is her dress made up of? What is the textile which is used to make this dress? Yeah, I'll wait for 1 or a half a minute for the teacher's response just to see what comes to your mind looking at this dress. Okay, someone says, Mr. Radha Vishwanathan says it is made up of plastic. Good guess. Okay, Meenakshi Sharma says metal. Okay, you're very close to it. It's not exactly metal, but it is close to it. Okay, plastic cover. Yeah, see, this is how your mind is also working. The innovation is coming in your mind also. You have started thinking that a dress can be made up of plastic, it can be made up of metal. Actually, the dress is made up of graphene. Graphene is the carbon allotrope, and it has a fabulous property, optical properties. So it shines, it has luster. It is very close to graphite that we teach in our chemical components of carbon. So this dress is unique because it is made up of graphene. It is made up of graphene because it reflects the luster, and also it has some property that it is very lightweight. You don't feel like you are wearing a heavy suit. So these are the examples from day to day life. Like one of the examples is robotics. We all know how robotics and coding is working wonders in the today's generation. This is one of the marvelous piece where there is a fusion of art and the science. Musical fountain. Musical fountain is like a, it's like a party of water and the music. Don't you think so, teachers? When you look at it, you also feel like dancing, isn't it? So this dance of water along with music and the stunning visuals, what is this? This is the fusion of STEM and art. Art has not just been tagged in, it has been sprinkled on each part of this STEM: science, technology, engineering, and math. The science here is giving flow of water. You can teach the student flowing of water along with the music. The technology gives the power, and it controls the flow of the water through jets, different jets with different diameters. It is technology and engineering together. Math here ensures that it is perfectly timed with the music. And finally, you get a masterpiece, and that is a visually stunning fountain of music. So, this is the example where you can meet STEAM. Okay, so next time when you are looking at the musical, or when you are hearing this musical fountain, just remember that you are soaking yourself into STEAM education, isn't it? I have also put Mr. Rock over here, who is also wondering and who is also amazed what is happening. So you tell him that what is happening. Science teachers are rocking. Yes.
Implementation, I will tell you.
Yes, okay. Some of the teachers are asking me the implementation in our day to day classrooms. Definitely, I'm sharing the screen. The next screens are the following screens will be that only. So here we start with the implementation of the STEAM in our classrooms. Whatever we saw was already they are there in the world. Now, how we can inculcate these things in our students, that we will see. The first activity, which is related with the art and the science, let's make science fun. Let's not be boring science teachers, right? So I have given a name to this activity as marble masterpieces. You can see in the picture what is happening. The marbles are painted in different colors and then they are rolled over some papers. What the children are doing here, they are enjoying, they are having fun. We don't say that we are going to learn today about friction or gravity. We have to change the way we tell the students what science and what concept of the science we are learning. So we start with them with a race. Let's have marble race. So when they are doing this marble race, they are enjoying, the marbles are swirling, they are making different masterpieces, and then you describe them what is the science behind it, what is friction, what is speed, what is acceleration. Everything they will learn through this activity. They also learned the patterns which these marbles are making, and at the end of the day, what are they getting? They are getting a masterpiece which is made by them unknowingly learning science. Can you imagine when they will go home how happy they would be telling all the stories about this activity? Isn't it? Next activity is again related to science. It is about the circuitry. When we teach the student circuit, we talk about cell, bulb, wires, plastic, insulation, and conductors. Look at these pictures. These pictures are the again fusion of the art and the science. What we do here is using the copper tapes and the graphite pens. Nowadays, we have graphite pens available in the market, which can be used to make a good sketch, nice artistic sketch. And then you can put the batteries and the LEDs in between, touching the graphite, because graphite is a good conductor. Though it is a non-metal, it's a good conductor. And then you create an artistic picture and then tell them that this is the closed circuit. When you remove it, it is the open circuit. Isn't it this a beautiful activity to teach art along with the science? Now, how would you teach the same thing for seniors? For seniors, art and all, they want to go beyond it. So, for that, art is not just drawing and painting. You can include drama also in the art, because it's not just fine arts. Performing art also comes under the art. So, for grades 9 to 12, we can put on our thinking caps and we can think of some comedy skits where you are teaching the concepts of physics, isn't it? So you can call this skit, you can give a nice name also to the skit, like the magical journey of electrons, isn't it? The electrons are the heroic people of this story and they have started their journey. But what happens in between? There are some characters like resistors. Resistors are the wise elders who are slow, and they advise the electrons also to go slow, not to be impulsive. I hope you all are enjoying this story. This is the story which we just cooked up to teach the students in class 12. Yes. And then you can talk about the other characters also, like capacitors. What are they? They are forgetful dreamers because they do not like to allow the electrons to flow. They store energy. Okay. Then we have diodes. Everyone has learned about diodes. They are the one-way guards. Like only in one way they are giving the direction. They don't want the second way. They are the one-way guards. Transistors can be called as the amplifiers and the power of the electrons. And what are LEDs? LEDs are flashy performance, like they give the flashlight to the whole journey of the story. So we are integrating here STEAM, that is art, with the technical things. But is it so boring? Do you find it boring when I teach the story? Though I'm not teaching chemical formulas and the integration and differentiation, but at least to start a chapter we can cook up a story like this. What do you think, educators? Is it boring? No, it is not boring. It is something where you can have fun also. So from boring we have to create fun. This is like one of the things which I do every year with my class, and this is making some labels using the chemistry symbols. I have many times shared this activity with many teachers many students, and every time when I give this type of activity, they make so many words which are available in the world, they can make out of these symbols. Okay, and not just they are making symbols, they are learning the atomic number as well as the atomic mass, different properties. You can elaborate this activity as per the grade. Okay, Stu, now I have questions for the teachers. Here I will take a short break for a moment, maybe for a minute. I would like to ask teachers, what do you observe in this clock? What is this clock telling you? Is it just telling you the time, or is it telling you something more? Just take a minute and think about it and give your responses. Okay, I'm getting the responses from the teachers. Miss, I can't pronounce it. I don't know whether it is the right pronunciation. Shankar Rao Bonu says that it is showing the periodic table. Okay, okay. Lavina Longwani says it's with elements. Very good. Jayashri Mishra says it's solar system. All right. See, the creativity is like you cannot control. You have so much of exposure. Yes, we have Pranjali Christine. She's saying not to forget the elements. Yes. We have many responses coming up in the chat box. Elements in progression of atomic number, right? That's great. That's great. Teachers, I'm so happy to get your responses. I think most of the chemistry teachers will understand what is this clock showing. This clock is showing not only the time, but it is also showing something logical. Beyond this logic, you have something creativity also. Okay, you have told me that it is showing the atomic number in progression. There is some art also into it. Can you recognize which art is there? Please write in the chat box for the responses. I will read it out. Yes, your responses are correct that there are elements. But beyond that, what is the art in this? Okay, I have one response coming from Aarti Dafra. She says resin art, very good. Clay modeling, alphabetical order. All right, alphabetical order is not there. Resin art, okay, we get so much good responses. I also got a response mural art. See, different types of arts you are thinking of. That's great. That's really great. Very good. But have you observed the placement of these things? If you are saying that it is alphabetical order, do you think that the placement of these letters are in alphabetical order? No, they are not in alphabetical order, but they are placed according to a number which is very particular for an element. Okay, Nitin Patil says that it is like a earth. Yes, you can see because the color of this clock is blue, and there are pinches of green color, so maybe you can connect it with the earth. Okay, there is actually, the clock was made by one of my friends. She is an resin artist. As you can see in the photo, we both are standing there with this clock. This is the fusion of a chemistry teacher and an art teacher, and we came up with this idea that resin clocks are very popular. I really wanted this resin clock to be in my house, but with a twist, and that chemistry twist I wanted. And yes, very good. Bhavna Dubey says that it is the atomic number of the elements. Very correctly said. These are put at the numbers. If you look at the clock, 12 number has been given to magnesium because it is the atomic number of magnesium. If you look at H, H stands for hydrogen. It is the atomic number of hydrogen, number 1. Similarly, if you now will observe it closely, you will find that there is chemistry, that is the chemical symbols, atomic number, resin art. Yes, there is mathematics also, because radius, angle art. I have got one comment from Miss Ujwala Patil. She says there is angle art in this. So this is one example which practically we did, and it has been a successful. I have put up in my room. Whosoever comes pays attention to this clock and asks me, what is this? What is it showing? Is it just showing time? Then I explain what it is showing. So it's, yeah, thank you, Bhavna. It's unique, I know. And this is what you all can also do. So when you mix science and art, you can make wonders. You can make your students the future thinkers, right? Okay. So we will go to the next slide now. You can see that the next slide is also something very interesting. Children, they like to make noise in the class. This activity will ask them to say something, and using the technology, we have softwares that we can change their sound into wave motion, and then they can collect their, you can see that there is a collage which is made up of different waves. These are the waves which your voice can be changed into the wave, and we can keep them into a collage. Okay, this was the sound of so and so student. We can say any student's name right now, and then we can put up in the class that this is the word which was said by Mr. So and so. This was made by, this effect was made by Mr. So and so. So it is also going to be a very interesting activity where your art is meeting with the science. Photography, many students, they ask that they are interested in photography. Nowadays we have digital cameras, we have phones with such good precision of photography. So here I present before you some pictures which are actually, these are not downloaded from the internet. Again, I'm saying, because these are the pictures which are actually taken by the students, whose pictures, not only they are showing the art or the nature, but they are also showing some kind of scientific concept here. If you look at the first picture, it is showing an effect which is beautifully captured in a very aesthetic manner. And this effect is, if anyone can tell me from the audience, this is a very natural phenomena that occurs in day-to-day life and beautifully captured. No, it's not prism, it's not the scattering of light. It is scattering of light, but the effect is not that. The effect is Tyndall effect. Yes, very good. Sheila Jamisna has given me the right answer. The second picture is showing the spider making a web. Beautiful creation, natural creation, artistic creation by spider, and equally beautifully captured. The third picture is showing the phenomena of reflection, and the fourth picture is study of celestial body, again captured by one of my very good student of science, who is also won many awards for the photography. Here comes some more activities which are related with the maths. Maths is miraculous. It is not boring. First of all, let this thing go into the mind of our students, like, because they think that math is boring, tables, fractions, all these. But how can we make it interesting? We can make it interesting by including art. As you can see in this picture, the picture is showing a fraction bird. See, the different fractions are cut from the paper, and then they can be asked, not just a bird, they can make anything according to their creative mind. And then we can ask them, they can cook up a story, not just this art. The art of telling a story can also be inculcated this in this activity. So maths meets art. And there are endless number of activities that we can give to our students. Like here, one more very nice activity is given, which is the have a ball with polygons. So when you are going to describe that we are going to learn about polygons, it's going to be very boring. Let us give them some pom-poms, let us give them some straws, ask them to make some structures, make pyramids, make pentagons, and then ask them to make a ball out of it. Initially they will not be very successful, but then the teacher can work as a guide here. The teacher can tell them that how the flat surface can be converted into a curved surface with the joining of the different types of polygons. So they learn 3D shapes here, they learn curved surface, flat plane surface. They use their creativity. The structure of the football, it is made up of pentagons and hexagons, but you can make that ball using triangles also. This is where the creativity kicks in, and the different students will give you different types of ball structure with different patterns. So this is another activity. Then art string, I have done it in my childhood. At that time, we were asked to make the string art using the table of two. So we had pins, and then we made the string art. Two ones are two. So from two to another two, then two to four, two to six, like this, learning tables and making a thread art. Dream catchers. You can give this activity a name, dream fetchers. I have given this name to this activity, fetching the dream instead of catching. Okay. So here you see that string art, teaching string art with geometry, tables, designing, creating. Origami is another a wonderful art, and we know that how it is very useful in designing the spacecraft. We all must have seen the movies which are based on spacecraft and rocketry, and we know that how the scientists, they use this technique of origami to make the spacecraft consigns. Okay, so we learn the geometry. We teach students geometry in artistic way. Tessellations, one of the another mathematical technique that can be taught using this technique in our classrooms. Students learn about thinking. There is an mathematics also, there is art also. Designing a logo, this can be given to the children of higher grades. Like you can see which logo is this, the logo which is at the bottom. Can you recognize the logo? If anyone from the audience or the teachers can think of the logo which is given at the bottom. The top one is a turtle. It is the logo of Twitter. Yes, look at the logo of Twitter, how it is designed by using circles and geometry. So this is the again an activity for the higher students where they can use different concepts of maths. They can make up a story also. When you're teaching them logo designing, tell them about golden ratio. I'm very sure mathematics teachers, they know what is golden ratio. It's a ratio which is manifested in the nature everywhere. There is a very popular painting by Mr. Leonardo da Vinci who made this picture, the Vitruvian Man. Again, it is based on the golden ratio. I have given a here formula how to calculate the golden ratio. It is calculated if you have a rectangle, the long and the short, the ratio of these two sides will be equal to the both of the lines together divided by the long, and this ratio is fixed. The ratio is fixed, that is 1.1618. It is known for its aesthetical appeal. So it's not just now we are talking about steam. If we go back in ancient time, this has been there in nature. This has been there in the ancient painting because it has that appeal. It is also seen in the Leonardo da Vinci's different paintings. Then you have another mathematical concept. It's a sequence actually. The sequence is 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, and so on. You can see. Can you guess what number would come after 21? I would like to draw the attention of maths teachers here. What would be the next number if anyone can tell? Here is the answer. So this is the following number would be 34. It is following a very important sequence in nature, which is known as Fibonacci sequence. Yeah. So this Fibonacci sequence is present in every aesthetical aspect of nature, and that's why sometimes we call it as God's secret sequence. And it prevails in all these natural things. If you pay attention, you can see in the galaxies, in the flowers, the pattern of the leaves in many plants, the snails. This ratio is followed, which has the aesthetical essence, And using this mathematical sequence and art together, you can see that we have two very famous paintings of the world. They also use this Fibonacci sequence and the golden ratio. I hope you also like the uh, paintings which I am putting over here. The first one is the very famous painting by Leonardo da Vinci, Mona Lisa, which is based on the golden ratio. And the second one is by Van Gogh, using of spirals, swirlings. The name of the painting is Starry Nights, and it is following the Fibonacci sequence, which is a mathematical concept. So this is not just in today's time, but from the ancient time we have been seeing this. Yes, Mona Lisa is the name of the painting, and the other name of the painting is the Starry Night. There is, if you want to teach students science in this, not only just maths, there is a compound which is used for making the painting of this Starry Night. The blue color compound that has been used is known as Persian blue, which is a coordinate compound that we teach in chemistry. So when I teach chemistry in the class, basically I'm a science chemistry teacher. So when I teach, I definitely talk about these paintings in my class, just to add that pinch of art into it, because otherwise the class becomes very boring, and we don't want that boring science teacher entering our class. When the when the science teacher comes, the students will should be waiting for the teacher, that she's going to tell us some nice story today which is related to our topic. So almost whatever implementation and examples that we have seen now, we will just write. I'll just explain in a nutshell that when you are inculcating art, it is a kind of boat that is taking all these four disciplines, that is maths, technology, science, and engineering, to the destination. That boat which is required for this, following this journey, is the art. Art is not something that will fade away the technical skill, but it will sharpen the technical skill. Like, it will boost up the innovation of a child. It gives the practical application. The child becomes a versatile skilled person, which is very important in today's world, as we know that there are so many new jobs coming up where art is also required, creativity is also required, problem solving is also required. And that is why we say that if we want to prepare a child for the futuristic approach, it is important to switch from STEM to STEAM. And here I present two very, very important pictures, which I think will be liked by everybody. What is the first picture is of a rhino, and the second picture is of, again, I want audience attention here. The first picture is a rhino. The second one is, it is a unicorn. That's correct. So what are you able to deduce from this picture? Yes, audience, if you can understand horse, it's a horse which is, you can say that, with an art, with a tadka of art. So what is that? It is a unicorn. It's an imaginative creature. Rhino is a real creature, right? And unicorn is an imaginative creature, which is liked by everybody, is the unicorn. If you ask a girl or a small child what sketch book you want, the child will definitely tell you, I want unicorn picture, because unicorn is something out of the world. Unicorn is something where you have colors, where you have, all the imaginative things are there. So this picture I'm just symbolizing to say that the rhino is a good creature. It has a thick skin. It teaches us to be patient. It teaches us, to be there in the, it is very important that the rhino should be there in our environment. But if you just add a little bit of art in it and imagination into it, you can get a creature like unicorn. Okay, it's not real, it's imaginative, but at the same time it is lovable, it is joyful. As you can see that how happy the unicorn looks. And this is what we want, that from a boring class of science, maths, or computers, the class should become a happy class. The class should become a class where the children are happy, teachers are happy, and they all go together in this journey of STEAM. So this was the presentation from my side. I hope all the teachers learned something. Even I from your chats have learned something. I hope everybody happy steaming in their classrooms. Over to you, Harsha.
Ma'am, we'll wait for
Okay, I
the
can't
audience
hear.
to.
Okay, okay, here she. Yes.
Hello, ma'am. We'll wait for a minute to type in the questions, ma'am, by the
Okay,
audience.
okay. By the time, I really want to thank that I really enjoyed presenting the this presentation today, and I really liked the audience. They were very interactive. They had been asking questions. It will be more nice that if I will get more responses from them. Yeah, I'm getting the responses from the audience. Thank you. If you like the presentation, thank you so much. I hope we will take away something today that we can implement in our classrooms and make the children ready for future aspects. I'm very sure that teachers also have many good inputs about their classrooms. It would be nice that if you can also share your ideas and your creative aspects in this platform, so that we can also learn from each other. Like I always say that I have the experience of 22 years of teaching, but at the same time, I say that I have 44 years of learning experience. And now, also, if we learn from each other, that's going to be great.
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt you. Bhavna, ma'am is asking, ma'am, could you please share any ideas to how to integrate mathematical operations with an art?
Yes, definitely, Bhavna ma'am. As I already described, that maths becomes very boring if you are just teaching them as this is the concept. But you can inculcate art in the maths, as I gave you the example of fractions. So if we say, if usually how do we teach fractions? We teach fractions making a box. First of all, I know, even I was taught, the box will be made and then we will draw the vertical lines and then we start teaching them fractions. And then you say that okay, this part is shaded, this part is not shaded, but this is not the way. Include the art, include colors. You are asking about mathematical operations. Mathematical operations means like addition and subtraction. Yes, this is what. So for teaching addition, how you can do, you can ask the students to bring their, some kind of, let us say we start with the culinary art. This is what right now comes to my mind. Ask the students to bring different types of sandwiches, maybe the vegetable sandwich, the cheese sandwich, and ask them to bring it together and add. This is for the junior classes. Add, and now see the big sandwich has been made. So what, which operation has been done? Adding. Adding has made the sandwich expand in size. Okay, so when you add something, the things becomes large. Similarly, if you will subtract, if you will take away your parts, what is going to happen? The size is becoming smaller. So start with these small activities. Even you can include the different types of color art, or you can include the meme art. It's not that only coloring will be helpful. You can make a song, like addition song, subtraction song. It is up to the child, what the child wants to do. Whether the child is interested in art, give them the artwork. There are some children who dance very nicely, so you can give them dance, like making, joining hands, dividing the people, breaking that human chain. So that is what we have to think. It is sometimes when we go into the class, we see the mood of the children are not ready to write, the children are not ready to speak. So give them some kind of instant, let us dance, let us hop. Okay, make a number line on the ground, let us go to the ground. Make a number line, big number line, put zero in the center, this side positive, this side negative. Let us hop. Okay, starting from 0 to -2, from -2 to +5. So this is how we can include art. Art is not just painting, coloring, it is dancing, music, acting, drama, everything. So I hope you are satisfied with some of the inputs which I was able to do.
Definitely, excellent reply to that question, ma'am.
Thank you, Harsha.
Yeah, ma'am, there is one more question. Ma'am, there is one more question by Dipali, ma'am. Can you please give some ideas for English? She's asking, ma'am.
English, yes, definitely.
Yeah,
English is
yeah,
the
yeah. And
actually I
meanwhile, you can just, yeah, ma'am, share the sound waves, ma'am, so that you can answer both the this thing, ma'am, questions. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, sure. So first, I am answering the question which is asked by the teacher related to English. See, I feel that English is a very when you teach language, you have better scope for the imagination. If you are teaching literature, if you are teaching a poem, so you can take the characteristics, you can ask them to imagine. Suppose if you are teaching a poem which is related to your maybe your nation, so you can include the artistic fusion of like making the Indian national flag, or maybe you are asking them to sing a song which is related to India, the progress of India. Okay, if you are teaching them grammar, let us say you are teaching them antonyms and synonyms, so make two groups. Okay, this is what all of a sudden whatever comes to my mind I will be able to right now give you the answer accordingly. So if you are teaching them antonyms and synonyms, so make two groups. One group is anti of the other group, right? So you can give them some kind of acting, or if you are angry, show them the facial expression anger, and here on the other side the other person is the opposite of it. So angry opposite is happy, so happy and angry comes and there is a bombardment, so like this. But when a synonym is there, like if you are happy, if you're cheerful, these two people, they're carrying their placards and they're coming and they're joining hands. So like this you can think of some kind of activity which is not just performing art. You can make them draw a flower which is showing a happy face, emojis showing a sad face, and then collaborate it. And what was the other question, Harsha? There was one more question.
Ma'am, they want to see the slide of sound waves, ma'am.
Okay, that
The
musical
student who
fountain.
is speaking, ma'am, the sound wave.
They want to see the slide. That is the musical fountain, right?
Sound. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, right now the sound is not there in this slide. I was not able to download it with the sound, but if it is easily available on internet, again I would say educators that we are uh, having this internet facilities where you can get the plethora of these kind of activities along with your imagination. So just use these resources for making your class more lively. These are the thing is not just you have to teach from the books. The learning of STEAM is not confined to the books. We have to go beyond the books. It is not just to score the marks, it is to inculcate that scientific attitude with the artistic flavor. This is the slide which I think the teachers are demanding to see. There is no music. I'm very sorry for that. But this is just, it has this stunning visual aspect which we can enjoy.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the reply, ma'am. Meenakshi ma'am is asking in social science, we can use declamation and role play. She is suggesting, ma'am.
Yeah, yes, Meenakshi ma'am is suggesting that declamation is a very good and powerful tool actually, because students will come to know when they will speak those words, they get that feeling. Not only the words will go, but it is that feeling, that emotion that the that the student will feel while they are performing or when they are delivering the dialogues. This is a very wonderful thing to teach social science. Yes, any more questions?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, like Radha ma'am is asking, please can we get some suggestions for grades 1 and 2?
Yeah, for grades 1 and 2, suggestions like you can include, as I said, that racing, marble racing, painting, coloring. Then you have very good activity which is known as tie and dye. Okay, which we generally perform in our classes also. You can teach them the use of color scheme, primary colors and the secondary colors, how you can mix them, you can get the new hues and new colors, and then you can paint it. You can ask the students to paint. Tie and dye is a very good wonderful activity to include art along with the color theme, and then using it also, that the piece of cloth that they are painting, they can take home, they can keep it as a handkerchief, or they can even tie their t-shirts. When they get these kind of little activities, they feel happy and they learn also. For class 1 and 2, for as I already have described, that for teaching the multiplication, addition, subtraction, we have so many different activities where we can go to the ground, take them out of the class, because in class sometimes it is not possible. So take them out of the class, teach them to make a square, now make a pyramid. These kind of mathematical concept can also be taught them in the junior classes. I hope
So
I
much,
have
ma'am,
satisfied.
for yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for this engaging and informative session. Like it was very helpful that you replied to so many comments and cleared the doubts of our community of teachers. And I'm sure many teachers have lots of takeaways from this session, how to integrate arts in their classroom. So thank you so much for this very informative session, ma'am.
Thank you, Nikhil.
Yeah. And